Hey guys, Dan here from DansTube.TV, and on today's episode of the Drone Owners Worldwide podcast and video experience, we have Ken Heron joining us today. He is a drone fanatic and YouTube personality with a catalogue of videos on his YouTube channel. He's amassed 120,000 subscribers now. He's done a lot of really interesting video content and definitely pushed the boundaries of being a drone YouTuber. So we'll jump into it very soon with Ken, and we'll ask all about what it's like to be a YouTuber, some advice he might have for YouTubers, some of the amazing experiences he's had with drones, some of the cool tests that he's done, and a lot more. So this video and this podcast has been sponsored by the Mavic Mini Australia Facebook page, or group, sorry, as well as Eye in the Sky Clothing. So I will have those links in the description below to check it out. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Let's jump into it. Thank you, Ken, so much for joining us today. I really appreciate your time, man. And
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
that's fine, man. That's fine. I'm excited to hear about your journey into, creating your YouTube channel and how this all started and how you come up with some of these super interesting kind of out there ideas. It's a hard place to start. Like, should we start with how you got into creating YouTube videos? Or is there like an interesting
Sure.
story that you think kind of leads nicely into this?
Well, I started my YouTube channel in 2008, and if I knew then what I know now, I would have done nothing else but YouTube
Right.
since 2008. But I only started my YouTube channel as part of some radio station I was working for, and we didn't do much with it. And then I posted a video about a laser, like a 2-watt laser, and I was scaring birds out of the trees with it. I didn't hurt any birds, PETA.
Yeah.
But that got some traction. Then I thought, well, maybe I'll do some more. And then I got maybe like a couple hundred subscribers, and then I ignored it for another year or two. But then I started getting into drones and stuff, and that's when it really took off. So right around 2011, 12.
Okay. So if you did
Yeah.
start in 2008, what do you think you would have done differently? Do you think you would have started the
Oh,
same?
first I would have copyrighted the name PewDiePie.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know when he started, but maybe not in 2008. But I mean, just hindsight, right? I go back, try to remember all the. You're talking about literal time travel.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sure, yeah. I try to remember all the lottery numbers or who won the World Series is.
You probably wouldn't have a YouTube channel.
Invest in Apple.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean all the stuff that you do if you could go back in time. But no, I certainly would have liked to have paid more attention to it. I was always an audio editor, so
Right.
it was a lateral move to edit video, and I was editing video before I did anything with YouTube. So all my radio training over the 30 or whatever years that I've been doing it really helped me in the YouTubery that I do now.
The YouTuber. That's the official term now, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so. I might have coined that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, nice.
Trademarking.
Sure.
Get the trademarking quick.
Yeah, I gotta get on.
Yeah, get
Did I
on.
answer the question? 'Cause I tend to drift.
That's fine. That's fine. Well, so were you into drones in 2008 at all?
No.
No. So when
No,
did you get
I had
into
a friend
drones?
Right around 2012.
Okay.
I was working at this little radio station in West Tennessee where I live. I'm not from Tennessee. I'm originally from Philadelphia, but I happened to be here in Tennessee working at a little radio station. And I wanted to get a shot of the building from above. And I had one of those little helicopter things, those toy helicopters that are shaky. And I had a little keychain camera, and I taped it to it.
Right.
And I thought, yeah, I'll just get, and it was horrible. But then my girlfriend at the time, she bought me a little Hubsan. I have it over here, a little Hubsan drone for my birthday. And then, of course, when you get one drone, then you want a better one. Then you want one with a gimbal. Then you want one with GPS. Then you want a bigger one. Then you want one with FPV, and on and on. So I still have that Hubsan, but the girlfriend is long gone.
Yeah, right. That's
There
cool.
you go.
Wow.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't miss her too much.
So then, like, you said that you got a little bit of traction when you did that kind of laser video with the birds. What
Yeah,
was
yeah.
what was the first video where you started actually genuinely thinking, wow, I could actually start making YouTube videos and make some money off this? Like, when was
I
that
start,
moment?
I started recording. I did a morning show here in West Tennessee, and I started recording things that we did on the show using the audio from the radio. So it was just kind of like this, and then I had cameras, and I would post some of that, and there was uh, some drone stuff in there, and I noticed that the drone stuff got more interest, and so I was starting. I started with a Phantom 2, which doesn't have the FPV on it. You just have to line of sight it. You know,
Yeah.
it had that whole Zenmuse GoPro holder thing. It was seems like 20 years ago, but it's not that long ago. So I mean, it just then I monetized the channel. I remember one day I got a notice from YouTube saying, "Hey, you can monetize the channel." And I said, "Really? Okay." So I did that, and then in about a month, I saw, "Wow, I made $7." And I'm like,
Excellent.
I wonder if I can make $8. And then, you know, drones are a
Did you,
motivation, but I tell you that getting paid by YouTube to do something that you would do for fun anyway. I mean, that's a win-win right there.
Yeah. So when you saw that $7, did you like immediately quit your job at that point? Like you were ready to
Yeah.
dive
I,
fully into it?
I marched into my boss's office and I said, "Look, man, I don't need you anymore. I got YouTube now." No, actually, truth be told, um, I was working at this little radio station, and there's not a lot to do. It's in a small town.
Yeah.
I was morning show guy and production director, which is the guy that makes the radio commercials. We didn't have a lot of clients, and I've been doing radio for 30 plus years, so I'm like quick with it, you know? So there was probably 20% of my work day that was actual radio stuff, and the rest was all YouTube. I'm just being honest. I was
Nice.
double dipping, and I had all this my studio here, all my stuff at the radio station. So I was just editing video, and you know I was pretty much the boss. So
You were basically
and
a part-time
so,
YouTuber back then.
yeah, and then as time went on, I became a full-time YouTuber with a part-time radio job.
Yeah.
Kinda, the tables turned. I'm
That's
being
so was
brutally
it?
honest. I know
yeah.
you guys like being brutally honest, but yeah, it was great for a while.
Mm.
So was it your background in radio broadcasting and media that gives you that sort of edge when it comes to your content? Because I guess on small town radio, you've got to constantly come up with creative ideas to keep your audience entertained, and you come up with some pretty out there sort of YouTube videos, I guess. Yeah, I see a lot of YouTube channels which are they're very channeled in terms of what they do. So we're going to talk about drones, and it'll just be drones. It'll be flying the drone, or look at a drone with an accessory on, or something like that. I mean, but we talked about that one earlier. Flying the drone on a horse. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if
people
you're
don't normally do that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
right, well, yes, my radio career was good training as far as being comfortable in front of an audience. That certainly helps, and that's a big hurdle for a lot of people that want to get into YouTube. So I'm used to being in front of audiences and not shy person, so that's another good trait. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of people on YouTube that try to emulate other YouTubers. They don't bring their own thing. You know, I tell people all the time who ask, they ask because they ask me this question: how do you do good YouTubery? And I just say, be yourself. Don't imitate anyone else. We've got enough people out there doing the same thing. Try to, if it's not yourself to be apart from the herd, then maybe it's not for you. This is something that people have to discover on their own. Because if you're not having fun doing it, you can tell. I think audiences can tell if the person in the YouTube video that you're watching is sincerely having fun and not trying too hard or reading from a script or sound wooden. And like you mentioned, me on the horse, I just come up with these. I've been doing this kind of thing creatively, coming up with wacky stuff for years and years. And you can do a drone video and sit on a horse. As long as it has a drone in it, it's still a drone video.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah, correct.
Circus
Yeah.
in my head. There's a circus in my head going on all the time. I've been doing morning radio, comedy radio for years and years. So that's my comedy radio muscle that's going on there. It's hard to turn off even when you get out of radio.
Yeah.
Correct.
No.
Well, I mean, every time a video is launched, because I'm a subscriber, so I get the notification. And first thing in my head is, oh shit, what's he done now? But it's good because you're constantly always surprised and interested in terms of what you are going to do next. And as I said, I've seen a lot of YouTube channels which just go through that sort of model, which isn't that exciting. So doing unboxing. I mean, how many unboxings can you watch about the same product? They're all very same. We sort of do the unboxing, and then we'll connect it and we'll do a 2-minute flight, and then we'll land it and we'll go. There you go. And then you watch
a cookie cutter. I liken it to my radio production. Very often there are always clients that they come in and they want to read the commercial over a music bed. And sometimes if I tried to get super creative with them and they didn't get it, they're like, then they listen back to this creative thing that I made that took a long time to put together, and like, no, that doesn't sound like a commercial. And I said, well, you don't want to sound like a commercial. You want to sound like something different, because it's going to be ad, your ad, right? And you want your ad to stand out. So don't be like all the other ads. I've had people say, well, that doesn't sound like a radio commercial.
Good.
Said, that's the idea, to stand out.
Good.
If there's a saw blade and it's spinning, you want to be the saw tooth that sticks out a little bit so people notice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the flaw in the cookie cutter model, because basically once you've done your unboxing and launch, I don't need to watch your channel again until you get a new drone, because you're not telling me anything new. Whereas with your channel there, you've done your drone review, that's fine, but the next minute can I fly this out of a car window? Like, I want to see that.
I try to keep it interesting.
It is interesting, but sort of quite informative as well, because you are actually sort of going through how the drone works and how it functions by showing some really cool stuff. That I remember the one where you, I think it was a Phantom 4 or Phantom 3, you took up into the abandoned restaurant at the top of the building. So again, you're actually seeing a drone being used, and you're talking through that sort of process, but it's entertaining and interesting. So good job.
Well, thank you. I mean, why not make it interesting? You can get the same information from another video, but if somebody's wearing a funny hat while giving you the information, then that'd probably be the video that you watch more.
Yeah. So what is your... Go ahead, Keith.
How did your audience react to this? Did you get a lot of trolls going, what are you doing?
I don't really get a lot of trolls, but the ones I do, I really enjoy replying to them. And I encourage anybody watching to troll me, because I'm actually putting a book together. I'm putting a book together of snarky comebacks to trolley questions. It's called Comment Below, and I've been collecting the trolley-est comments for years, and I'm going to put them in a coffee table type book.
Wow.
And
like seriously, that's cool.
Yeah, let me see if I can find a good one. No, I don't know.
That's cool.
This might take me a minute, but
because you gotta have fun with it, right?
Yeah, it's just snarky. It's snarky. I really want to share one. Let me see if I can. Hold on. It's boring. The stream just got boring. I'm looking over my glasses like an old guy.
That could be the book cover, maybe, that shot right there.
Right here?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. No, it would take me a minute to find it. But,
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, like if somebody says something smart to me, like purposely being mean, then I'll kind of passive aggressively flip it around, not to be mean back on them necessarily. But I can be
probably the best one I think I've ever seen is Jimmy Carr, English comedian. Yeah, there's 8 out of 10 cats. He's doing a live show, and somebody heckled him. So he just went, "I'll get to you in a second," and was sorting out another heckler. And then he went back to the first one. He says, "If you're waiting for a comeback, you'll have to scrape it off of your mother's teeth."
Yes.
He's awesome. You always have to have
Yeah.
something like that in your hip pocket if you're
Like-
doing live comedy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
Jimmy.
he makes a whole, he has a whole session on responding to hecklers. That's pretty amusing.
He's great.
He has some great comebacks.
Do you have any comedians, Ken, that you look up to, seeing as you've got this kind of comedy mindset?
Brian Regan.
Okay.
Love Brian Regan. When I was working at a radio show in Syracuse, he came on for my birthday one day.
Oh, cool.
I just admire him. He's a clean comedian. You know, he doesn't curse a lot, and that's not why I like him, because I like cursing like the next guy. I don't do it on my YouTube necessarily, because YouTube to me is broadcasting. Well, no, not just that, but YouTube to me is like broadcasting, like radio broadcasting. And I try to use broadcast rules that I've been using forever in radio, and just I'm trained when I'm presenting to not use certain words, because, you know, sensitive ears are out there, kids, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to be the one. Everybody's going to learn the words.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to be the one to teach them.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
You know.
So you said that you've been in radio for 30 something years.
Yeah.
How did you initially get into that? Like, how did you start your comedy mindset? Because like you said, you know, you got to be always on. You got to be prepared for really anything that gets thrown your way, which is obviously such a good skill to have for your YouTube content and for, you know, being a radio presenter. But how did you even develop that? Was that something that you naturally had, or do you have some insight into how to develop that?
I don't know. I would say I'm very encouraging. I live with my mom. Was raised by my mom mostly since age 6. She's been very encouraging to me. I don't want to liken myself to these wonderful violin players that you hear and say that I'm some sort of savant, but it did come naturally to me. I've always just had that ability. Because that'd be like asking a concert pianist, you know, how he became such a good piano player, obviously with a lot of practice, but you have to have some natural ability as well.
Yeah.
So I don't think, as much as some people want to be comedians, some people just aren't and will never be.
Yeah, for sure.
There's nothing wrong with that. You just have to recognize that in yourself. And besides the fact that I really don't have any other skills, I really don't. I have 2 sisters. They're both doctors, so I didn't get the smarts. So I got the smart ass.
The smart ass, yeah.
Yeah.
So was there any like? Go ahead, Keith.
They do say the best comedians are the ones that are not trying to be comedians.
Yeah.
They're just
right.
They're just doing their thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just who they are.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. And like in terms of your YouTube videos, do you have a figure off the top of your head how many you've uploaded? Because I can't see that on my end.
Oh, that's a good question.
Hundreds.
I think over 1,000 maybe.
Over 1,000 now.
I think so.
What's your favorite?
Yeah.
Which one do you go back and go, that was so much fun?
You know, I'll be honest, I don't have children. So along with being entertaining for everyone else, my YouTube videos are really a legacy, because the internet's forever, hopefully anyway. And long after I'm gone, hopefully the people of the future will go back and they'll watch these old wacky videos. But one of my favorites that I really enjoyed to do was Minefield at Night. There's a sculpture in Tennessee, the largest metal sculpture, and there's one where I flew at night. It's one of the first ones I did. I've done a lot of videos about that place, but it's the one that's titled Minefield at Night that I really enjoyed, because the sculptor, the artist that made the sculpture, he's just such a talented, somewhat reclusive guy named Billy Tripp. Super nice guy. But you know these artist type that are all just kind of inward, you know, and you can just look at an artist who's very talented and tell that they're talented. And he's kind of out there, but he's such a talented and super guy. And he let me into his world, and I appreciate him doing that. He's 60 something years old, and he's climbing on stuff that's hundreds of feet high. I couldn't do it.
Wow.
I just admire him very much, and I enjoyed making that videos.
Yeah.
Well, your legacy is something you could seriously mess with the future by backing up all your YouTube videos onto a hard drive and burying them in your backyard. Somebody will find them in 200 or 300 years, play them and go.
Yeah. You know, along those lines, and I've said this before, but I actually recorded a video of myself that will play in the event of my death. Right. You know, you hear about YouTubers all the time dying. You're like, oh yeah, that guy, I remember watching him. Well, if I die, I have uploaded and post-dated a video of myself saying, if you're watching this, I'm dead, I won the lottery, or I'm in jail. Because yeah, and I have to update it again. I made it about a year.
Yeah, I was gonna say, make sure you change the dates.
Yes, so yeah, if I ever forget. But you know, you can post date pretty far into the future.
Yeah, right.
Schedule a video. You can schedule your video.
That's freaky.
You can keep changing it. Yeah.
Imagine if you predicted it though. Like that's insane. If you just put it as a random date and it actually was that day.
Yeah. Yeah, right. If you're watching this, I'm dead on Wednesday, June 7th. Yeah. But you know, I'm surprised more people don't do that.
Yeah.
It's like post dating a check. Just post date a video. If you care about your audience and you care enough about what you've done, then sure, put that in there. In case something happens to you. You never know.
That's
hey
interesting.
Guys, I'm dead. Appreciate you watching.
Yeah.
Don't know what's gonna happen with the channel.
There you go. You could even do like a video will, maybe. You'll give all of your success to the audience, basically. They take over the channel then. Wow.
Yeah, well, I do have a contingency in place for that.
Yeah, yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
You could leave your username and password to someone.
I have.
Oh, yeah.
They could inherit your channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of like the videos you've done, have you had any problematic stories? Like I know you've had a few like investigations come through, and you know there's a few in here that I'm seeing on the most popular, but like what kind of problematic things have you had to face so far?
Didn't you do a broadcast from court recently?
It wasn't recently, but yeah, I brought the camera into the courtroom after I got a speeding ticket.
Oh, that was a speeding ticket. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a
dash cam justice, was it?
Yeah, and I wasn't speeding. Well, okay, I was speeding a little bit. I wasn't speeding as much as he said I was speeding.
Yeah.
But I was able to get out of it.
Huh.
That was a good effort getting the camera into the court.
Yeah, and you know, I live in a small town, so I did ask the judge, even though legally you can just, it's public place, so you can bring cameras in any courtroom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
In the United States, but I did ask him because I didn't want to be in there in court, you know. Go on, you're on. You know, be that guy.
On a selfie stick.
Right. But I was mostly concerned about my fellow future inmates sitting among me. Like, that's why I stood up. Hey, you're going to be on YouTube. That cool? No? Okay, I'll blur your face. Blur.
Yeah,
that's
blur the whole video.
Who wants to remember that day? Just me.
Just you.
But no, I've had some problems. I've been investigated by the FAA a couple times. But they're, you know, people label the FAA as the enemy. They're really not. They're just kind of an overwhelmed agency, staffed by people that really don't understand our hobby.
Yeah.
And they're doing the best they can. They're just working schlubs like everybody else. You know, people label the government as, you know, any individual FAA agent is not part of the Illuminati. They're just, you know, they're Dave Jones. They've got 2.5 kids, a mortgage. They're just like you and I.
Yeah.
Only they have a government job.
We have the same here in Australia with CASA, which is the authority on drones. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, I guess if the population can't self-regulate, somebody's going to have to, because otherwise you have all sorts of issues with drones flying into landing aircraft and stuff like that. So somebody has to put some control in place. But I mean, most of the time, the rules are pretty relaxed in terms of what you can and can't do. I mean, there's no real massive restriction.
Yeah,
and I think the
innovation will always outpace legislation. So
yeah,
I'm so surprised that they're woefully uninformed about all the new things that are happening and new technologies. So
yeah.
give 'em a
So
little
are you guys registering drones at this point, or is that still not a thing in the US? Because I go to Hawaii every year and take my drone with me over to Hawaii. So I'm sort of up to date with where it was up until COVID shut us down and haven't been able to go back. So there was talk at some stage about having to register drones in the US.
Yeah,
is that a thing?
Yeah, oh yeah, we're still registering the drones. Yeah, that's just something you have to do as a hobbyist or as a professional.
Yeah, so they're looking at doing that here, I think next year, for all drones. But I think the sub 250 category, which is where the Mini fits in, will probably be excluded.
Yeah, everybody thinks, oh, the Mini's an outlaw drone. Well, no. People think that in the United States anyways, because the Mini, you don't have to register. So great, that's $5. You save $5. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
You save $5. If you put an SD card in it, you put a sticker on it, you have to register it because there it goes up to 251 grams. But the Mini, even if you don't register it, still has to follow all of the rules. Still can't fly over 400 feet and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
I hadn't actually thought about that. Yeah, I hadn't actually thought about the SD card putting it over the limit.
Yeah,
I was kind of kidding with that, but I mean,
but it's right on the edge.
It's right on the edge, yeah. And Japan actually has more stringent rules with the Mini about the weight, and the Mini that you can buy in Japan is significantly lighter than 249 grams. You know how they did it? They cut the battery in half.
What?
So you get half the battery. Yeah, it's a lighter battery that they use in Japanese versions.
So what, is it half the flight time? Are we talking?
It may not be exactly half, but it's a different battery that they use. But yeah, the flight time's cut short.
Significantly cut. Wow.
Significantly, yeah.
Well, there you go. Now you can have your sticker and your SD card. You're fine.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, I don't have the sticker problem anymore since my drone had to be replaced. I got it back. We've got a problem here with our postal service. So it took about a month to get a drone fixed and repaired and sent back to me. It normally takes a couple of days, but DJI turned my drone around in 24 hours, which I was pretty happy with. But I've managed to fry the motherboard.
Are you guys both in Australia?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you guys get Amazon there?
Yep.
I have a friend in Australia, and because he can't get certain Amazon items.
Oh, okay.
I use it all the time because I use Amazon Prime. So I use Amazon because I get free postage on Prime, so I can get stuff from the US and not have to pay the postage. Because if I get something like on eBay from the US, I've been desperate to get SodaStream root beer. I love root beer, and you can't buy the bloody stuff anywhere. So if we go back to Hawaii, I'll go to Walmart and buy it and then post it home to myself. But yeah, if you buy it on eBay, it's something like $140 to post 2 bottles. I know, so I just don't bother. But on Amazon Prime, anything that I order from the US, as long as it's over $50, is free postage. So that's great.
So you like root beer, huh?
I love root beer.
It's
absolutely my favorite drink.
Have you ever had birch beer?
No, I don't think I have.
Have you heard of birch beer?
Not sure. No. I might have. Do they do a root beer?
It's kind of like a root beer, only sweeter, I think.
Huh.
It's something I used to get. It may be even regional here in the United States, but if you can get some, if you're a root beer fan, you will die and think you went to heaven for.
Oh, it's a soft drink.
It is. Yeah. It's just like root beer, only it's a different. It's root beer-esque. Yeah. Get you some if you can.
Yeah, I grew up in England, and I don't know why in England, but McDonald's when I was growing up used to have post-mix root beer.
Oh.
So it's my 2 favorite things is post-mix and root beer. So yeah.
Was it a decent root beer?
Oh, yeah, it was a decent root beer. But when I go to Hawaii, it's quite interesting because you forget the nuances and differences between ourselves in America. So when you order a drink in Hawaii, they'll bring it to your table, and if you don't put a coaster on the top of it and you sort of drink it, they'll just fill it up. So I went to lunch once and ended up drinking about 6 root beers because every time I finished, somebody would come along and woof and put another one down.
Fill it up. Nice.
Is it true in the UK that they're stingy on the ice? If you order a soft drink, they don't put a lot of ice or no ice in there? Or is that another country I'm thinking of?
Yeah, I don't know. Normally they put lots of ice in
So they don't have to,
the profit margin.
Yes, yes, that's what they do here.
Yeah,
they use a lot less syrup because it's all full of ice.
Welcome back to Root Beer Chat, everyone.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Root beer
we sort of
TV.
digressed. And here we are today talking with Ken Heron about root beer. So
I should change the title.
Yeah, sure. Let's drag it back to drones for a second. So are you is everything, I guess, administered from a federal level? You don't have differences in states, or do you?
Oh, for
in terms of your rule?
There are some local, I would say, not statewide. I haven't noticed much that I've had to deal with. I think maybe Michigan has certain things that you have to do, but it's more town to town as far as the rules of where you can fly, and that's one of the things that sticks in my craw. That's an American thing. Which means it pisses me off when towns try to usurp federal law, because the FAA are the stewards of the airspace, and then you get, like, in Dip-de-Dooville over here, the captain who just doesn't, the mayor that doesn't like drones for some reason, and then they put up these no droning signs. Well, you can go F yourself there, mayor, because I'm not beholden to you. I'm beholden to the FAA. So if the space over your town is good, then I'm going to fly there.
Yeah, we have a similar issue with local rules and regulations against the federal rules. But yeah, I had a situation in Hawaii where I had a security guard tell me I couldn't fly. And I'm looking at the FAA app going, yeah, I can.
Yeah.
So I'd registered the drone, so I had my permit. So we just had the phone number of his office on the car. So my father-in-law just phoned the phone number and went, "What are you doing?" We're in an area where we're cleared to fly. We've got a permit. Can you get your security guard to back off? So 2 seconds later, his radio bleeped, and he just went, "Bye," and disappeared.
These local authorities, they always have, if they don't and most of them don't understand. Nobody gets any training about where you can fly or what drones are about even. So it's all trespassing. It's all blanket. Nope, can't do it. Well, no, you don't understand that we can do it. Sorry. And the thing is, I've tried to educate authorities. They're not open to it most of the time. If you can.
Well, that's because everyone that's got a drone is flying them up to people's windows and taking photos of people in their bedroom. Yeah. Everyone, they're all doing it.
I mean, we've all spied on the neighbor's daughter sunbathing, right? I mean, who hasn't? That's the first thing I did. I was like, okay, good. I got me a drone. I can't wait to spy on Emmylou over here in her bikini. That's what I thought.
Yeah. It's such a funny stereotype, isn't it? It's such a funny stereotype.
There must be some dark website or something that has all these videos on, because I seriously don't think I've ever seen. I saw one video where somebody was on a beach and decided to zoom in on somebody with a bikini on, and everybody went, "Yeah, don't do that." But I don't know, other than that, whether I've ever seen any video of using drone as a spy camera.
No.
I've seen loads of landscapes. I've seen loads of trees. I've seen loads of flying over water. I mean, I don't think that's a priority for people. Yes, excellent.
Yes.
I like that.
Just
I love that.
That's fine. That's really cool.
I'm making these available.
Nice.
I'll send you a link if you want. But
they're cool.
In your store.
The thing is with these people that say stuff like, "You're spying on."
Oh, they are in your store. Sorry, I say they're there. They're in your store.
If people
Can you put it on Amazon?
You're
Can you put it on Amazon so I don't need to pay the postage?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll put that on there. I'll do that. But anybody that says you're spying on me, you're spying on my daughter, you know, then you just say to them, you say, oh, well, that's not how I think. That's how you think, you creeper. You know, because you have to wonder about that person who straight away goes to the I'm spying on your kid or whatever. You got to wonder about that person.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about that until you said it, you wackadoodle, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So I think the weirdest thing I've heard, like in my area, was there was a guy actually going around getting some like quite nice photos actually of some properties along the water, and he was abiding by the rules and everything. He was at 30 meters, flying along the water, getting some nice photos, and then he was printing them out and then going to the houses and trying to sell photos of those houses to people. But one of like the family friends we had was telling us that, she would sunbathe naked quite regularly and felt like that was a bit kind of full on. She had no idea that this guy was doing it. So she, I think, got the police involved at some point. But that's probably like the weirdest thing I've heard so far. But, it was kind of this gray area because he was following the rules. So the last I heard, they couldn't actually do much about it because he was away from the house. He was 30 meters away, and it's a weird kind of area. But besides people like that, I don't, that's the only story I've ever heard of someone being really creepy.
If you're alive in the year 2020 and you have a distorted expectation of privacy, that's on you.
Yeah.
I would not, I live in a small town. There's no cameras that I know of near my house, but I wouldn't lay out in my yard naked.
Yeah.
Well, for two reasons. One, I don't want all the marriage proposals.
Yeah, exactly.
And two, because you never know, there could be some security camera in somebody's window, and then or the satellite could be going over at that time, updating the Google Maps.
Yeah.
And then there I am out on my lawn, blurred out, of course. But that's some schmuck's job to blur out all the junk that they accidentally take pictures of. Right?
What a job, hey?
What a job, yeah.
How do you get into that kind of career? That's an interesting one right there.
I think that might be an intern's work at Google. This is like intern.
Intern.
At Google.
Here's the blurring tool.
I like the Easter eggs on Google where people know that the Google truck's around and will do crazy shit. And then you can find
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
People in fancy dress standing on corners or something. There's somebody beheading somebody, mock beheading or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And you go to the Google coordinates and find all these different places with people doing crazy things. I love that shit.
How often do they update? How often does that Google mapping car have to drive around and update stuff?
I want to say
it
5
must be
years.
relatively.
Once every couple.
Yeah, it must be relatively recent because I built a new shed on our property here 18 months ago, and it was on Google.
You're in
Earth
outer space, mate. We
recently.
can't see the shed.
Yeah, you can't see.
There's a guy.
Well, now that
they're
getting all this footage from these drone owners that are flying around taking videos of people's property and sunbathing.
Yeah.
Giving it all to Google.
There was a guy who mowed a penis into his lawn because he knew the Google satellite was about to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's quite creative though, really.
Yeah, I would do it if I had a big enough lawn.
Yeah. That's amazing. Oh, wow. So Ken, like in terms of, some of your wacky ideas for videos, we've kind of alluded to the fact that you have quite a like switched on comedy mindset, and you obviously want to push the boundaries and do something unique. But do you have other people that you kind of present ideas to and flesh them out, or are a lot of them just you coming up with it on the spot and then just doing it? Like, how does the process look?
Who is it you've got that's in your ear going, no, Ken, no.
Yeah, Ken, don't do that.
There really should be more voices of reason for me. And I know you can hear that train. Can you hear the train? Very often in my live streams, you can hear the train go by. Let me turn down the gate. Now you can hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Turn the gate back up. You know what a gate is,
right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There we go. All right. Anyway, no, I collaborate with my buddy Kelly. He was my morning show partner, and Ashley. We all did a morning show together, so we're all of the same mindset. I'll run ideas by them, but most of all, I'm just driving in my car and go, ooh. I was on my way to Memphis just yesterday to film the video I just posted an hour ago. about the projector.
Mm.
And I was going to do something completely different. But on my way there, I thought, oh, you know what? That's a light little projector. What if I put it on the drone? And it turned out so much better.
Mm.
And then usually I'll call people up to help me because there's not a lot of people in this town that want to help me. But if I explain some of these ideas to people, usually they'll trust me because most of the time it'll work out in the end. I kind of storyboard in my head. I've always been pretty good at that. And it's hard to explain to other people what I'm thinking. So they mostly just trust me to, okay, it'll all work out in the end. Okay, what are we doing here? Oh, we're flapping our wings for no reason. All right, yeah, okay.
Go with it.
Or whatever, All right,
Yeah.
stand on your foot for 30 seconds. I'm going to film you upside down with a special lens. Sure, Ken, whatever, I trust you. Like anything. So,
Yeah.
I like to cleverly disguise information with comedy. So it's infotainment. I always try to get some good information in there, or something for people. And I like to make my videos evergreen, which is why I don't do a lot of product videos.
Yeah.
Because like I said, one day I'm going to be, hopefully, if I make it to be even older than old now, like old. I'm old, but old.
Right.
But one day I'll watch all these videos back, and I don't want to watch me going, hey, here's the GoPro 4 or whatever. I don't want to hear myself talking about that because that's boring.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to go back on my channel and watch a video about me doing a project that came out 2 years ago, even if it is somewhat entertaining. But most of my videos, you can go back, and no matter what I'm talking about, whether it be 4 or 5 years ago, it's entertaining. And I also like to make my videos appealing to people who may not necessarily be into drones and photography. Which is why I'm so surprised how many people tend to watch the live stream on Thursdays who aren't even into drones at all. Like I get people's wives and girlfriends watching, they enjoy it. So
you can capture a broader audience that way if you don't make it specific to that drone. For example, what happens if you shoot a drone? Doesn't matter what drone you've got, you're going to want to see that.
Right. Yeah. And that's why I didn't name my channel the Droney Drone channel. I just named it my name because one day drones won't be new anymore, and that'd be like name my channel like the Toaster channel. Okay. Oh wow, toaster. Everybody has a toaster. Everybody's had toasters forever. One day, drones will be as innocuous as toasters. Is what I'm saying.
You'll be using a drone to toast your bread.
Right, but not to knock people that name their channel.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking of starting a channel on the shit my wife buys.
That would be a great name of the channel. Shit my wife buys.
Yeah.
I would subscribe to that. I would subscribe to Shit My Wife Buys.
That's a really good name.
One night whilst having a couple of drinks and being rather bored and sitting on Kickstarter, we ended up with this beautiful, about this big, squatting dog.
Right.
This golden and glittery golden dog having a shit.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay.
Excellent.
What now was the shit glittery or was it just the dog?
The dog was just squatting, but I'm like, why have we got this? So our latest edition is a skeleton goat that screams when you walk past it.
Wow.
Well, Halloween's coming up. Gotta have that.
So,
Hey, have they canceled trick or treating in your country?
probably because everyone's in lockdown and it's curfewed. We have a curfew at the moment
Is it
in
still
Melbourne.
bad over there? Is it like in different parts of Australia? Is it different?
No, so Victoria is the worst of our states, and we're getting better. So on a 14-day average, we're now below 30 new cases over 40 days. So they'll probably start relaxing. I think it's an announcement this morning from our Premier saying they're going to relax it a little bit. But Melbourne has been in lockdown for the last couple of months. So they've had, you can't go more than 5K from your house, and you can't go out. I think it's after 9 p.m. until 6 a.m. in the morning. Although a few people have decided to push the envelope a little bit. Somebody travelled 300 kilometres to buy a Big Mac. So there's always a few that will skitter around. But yeah, we I think we're down to, in terms of Australia, about 25 new cases, 30 new cases. So yeah, we're pretty much at the end of our second round of COVID.
Wow. Yeah, it's affecting everybody so much. I have a friend named Doris who will be 103 in January.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And poor thing, she's, trapped in her old people home. They won't even let her go out, And she's lucky. She still has her mind at 103. She's my grandmother's old friend, and that's how I know her. I've known her my whole life, but I just talked to her today, in fact. But she's bored. I called her, and she doesn't even say hi. She goes, Kenny, I'm bored off my ass.
Get her on a video.
And you? Yeah, she is. She is. I had her flying a drone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I filmed her a couple of years ago when she was only 101.
That's fantastic.
That's so
still
great.
driving her car, which was terrifying.
Yeah.
That was terrifying.
That would have been terrifying, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyway. Yeah,
wow.
COVID messed everybody up.
So, like...
Yeah, I got my mother-in-law's in Massachusetts. So, yeah, she was sort of in the brunt of it for a little while. So I think that's sort of calmed down a little bit. Then I've got other family in Arizona, and they were hit pretty hard at one stage. Seems to be sort of going around, doesn't it?
Are they letting Americans in Australia? They're not letting in us?
No, not letting anyone in.
No, there's a ban on Kens. Ban on Kens in Australia. Damn.
I plan on coming to Australia one day.
Do you know where you'd want to go?
Probably Sydney.
Yeah.
Just because a buddy's going to let me crash on his couch, I think.
Nice.
And after a $10,000 plane ride, I need that. Or
Yeah, fair enough.
Sydney's great if you don't like coffee.
I don't like coffee.
Great.
That's perfect then.
Yeah, not a fan. In fact,
Otherwise,
I've never had it.
Really?
You'd need to head to Melbourne for coffee and sport and culture.
Oh, all that? Nah, I'm not a fan of
Yeah,
sports either. No. Do you say math or do you say maths?
I say
math.
Math, yeah.
You say math? Okay. It's the English that say maths.
Right.
Like there's more than one.
Yeah. Multiple math.
Yeah. But no, Sydney would be, it'd be a fun place to go, I think. What time is it in your part? How many time zones are there in Australia?
Good question. 3.
Yeah.
And
what are you guys in the same time zone?
I don't know. What time is it there?
12:46 p.m.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
So we're vertical. So I'm at the bottom, and Dan's at the top, ish, sort of. But then as you go west, the time zones change. So Adelaide is, I think, half an hour different from us, and then Perth, which is right across on the very far side, I think that's 3 or 4 hours. No, 3 hours different from us. So we do have different time zones.
I've always wanted to drive in a country that drove on the left side of the road, but the more I think about it, the more I think I might die if I tried to
try it. Do it in America. Just drive on the left-hand side.
Yeah, just try it.
Just an experiment, right?
Just do it while COVID's on and the roads are pretty empty.
I'll just try it 2 in the morning. Yeah. Oh, officer. No, I was just pretending I was in Australia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I get breathalyzed. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Get an Australian driving license, should be fine.
Yeah.
I worked in
the other, like United States, just come over there and drive, or do we need to do a thing?
Is it
use
a
our
different one?
United States driver's license?
Yeah, you can actually.
Yeah, they don't have to do anything else.
Okay.
No.
That's kind of terrifying, really.
Isn't it?
Yeah, you can only,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, do
an hour of practice.
Yeah, like at least they just take you on the road and say, like, hey, you're driving on this side, not that side.
Right,
like that's the basic.
Rental place. There you go. Here's your keys. Remember, left side. Okay, see you later.
Yeah.
You want the extra insurance? No. All right.
No,
Bye.
perfect.
You can only do it for a certain amount of time. I think you get 3 months or something with a direct transfer license. But all our tourist areas in Victoria all have signs up saying drive on the left because people forget. So
the steering wheel's on the right. You're going to remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But there are a lot.
just get a foreign driving license. I worked in Moscow for 12 months, and I had a Russian driving license. And when I went back to the UK, I got stopped on the freeway for speeding. So I just handed them my Russian driving license and told them I couldn't speak English. And in the end, they just told me to go away. So it's like, excellent.
That's so funny.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I'll get there one day.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. So Ken, like we spoke a little bit about some of these interesting video ideas, and I guess I'm wondering, like, have there been any videos that you just haven't been able to do? Something that you had a concept for, or someone was like, man, we should do this, and it was just too much. Have you had to actually scrap some video concepts?
Yeah, none that I can really remember, because I tend to try to forget them.
Yeah.
I'm not too terribly in love with any of them unless I make them, but I mean, there's been stuff that I wanted to do that would just cost too much money, or I didn't have 11 people to help me pull it off.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. I tend to get ideas that are a little bit too grandiose for my means to get them done.
Yeah.
You know, one day I hope to have a crew, but
yeah. And also one thing that I found interesting, you recognize that with drones as well, like they are relatively fresh and exciting right now, but there will be a point where they kind of just stagnate a little bit and the interest won't be there. So, you know, for your channel, like how do you know when to make that move then? Like, have you started making other, obviously you do the live streams and you do some other kind of different content, but have you thought about diversifying a little more, or is the drone space still exciting for you?
That's a great question. I've been doing drone stuff since 2011, 2012. So for me, it is kind of, you know, it is hard to, you know, I've filmed everything within a 5-hour drive of where I am, and beyond. So then that's the thing for creators. You have to remember that even though something may be old hat for you, there's so many other people just getting into it now, which is why once in a while I'll put out a video for newbies and things like that, and you know, how-to stuff. But beyond that, you know, one day it'll happen, which is why the channel name is Ken Heron. I think some of my the videos that I really enjoy doing is to get out and meet new people, which is a little hard with the COVID stuff. But I'd like to just get in the car and grab my little co-pilot dog and head out and drive around the country and meet people, which is what I'm going to do by going down Route 66 next month. I'm planning on.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So I'm just going to start in Chicago and end up in Santa Monica. That's the plan anyway.
Yeah.
If the car holds together, and you know. But I have a couple other channels. There's Side B that I have. There's a channel called Side B, where there's I have an animator friend who takes old radio prank calls that I did and creates animations for them.
Nice.
There's short little videos. Here lately, I've been doing old guy reacts to new music type videos. So
yeah, that's cool.
I did one, you know, and people are saying I'm not old enough to be the old guy yet, but I got the gray hair, so I might as well use it.
Yeah.
And then I started a ghost hunting channel called Well Lit Paranormal.
Yeah, I can see that there. Ghost hunting, did you say?
Ghost hunting, yes.
Interesting.
Now, I don't believe in ghosts, and the reason for that is because there's no such thing as ghosts. But my cohort, Ashley, totally believes in ghosts, which is a great dynamic, because if we go into a place, and we just started, we go into a place, she's all like, oh, did you see that? I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, and I'm debunking it as we go on the fly, and she's hearing stuff. Oh, we got to get an EVP. Oh, yeah, you know. So
that's a cool dynamic.
And the idea behind Well Lit Paranormal is to go into all the same places, scary locations that every ghost hunter show you've ever seen goes, but go in the daytime. Go with big lights.
Yeah.
Because if the ghosts don't know they're dead, they're not going to know the lights are on, right?
Yeah.
And if you want to see a ghost, you're going to need light. That's how cameras work.
Yeah, yeah.
So why go at 2 a.m. when it's totally dark and you got this shitty green camera this night vision camera you can't see anything with, light it up.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
That's cool. And also, like, it would change the perception as well, because you're seeing a well-lit place that probably isn't as terrifying as what it would be at 2 a.m. with no lights.
Right. It's a
Well,
less
the fear is
scary,
dark, isn't it?
yeah, it's a less scary ghost show.
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
still, if ghosts aren't nocturnal, which they're not because, they don't exist, then, they're not going to mind if the lights are on. It would be the same thing.
Yeah.
But if they did exist, you're right. They're not just going to exist at night, are they? They're going to exist.
All these ghost hunter shows where you'll see one. All right, you're going to go in that room alone. Oh, no, I don't want to go in that room alone. It's the most haunted room in this whole hotel. Oh, I don't want to go in there. No, put me in there. Put me in there. I'm going to have my flashlight, but put me in the most haunted room. It's all bullshit. I am the skeptic. I throw it out there to the world. Scare me. You know what I mean? I don't like to be startled like the next guy, and I can creep myself out in scary locations. But if you're telling me that the abandoned brewery that's got like Shadow Man that pops out every once in a while and eyeballs that peer out from every window, put me in there. Bullshit.
Yeah. It's that whole cookie cutter horror show thing.
Yeah.
I've lost track of the number of times I've seen somebody going down the stairs of a dark basement. I'm like, why would you do that? Let's see what's down in the dark basement. No, let's not.
Yeah.
Turn the lights on. That. Yeah, turn the lights on.
Yeah, and it's always
the lights never work, do they?
No.
Or they flicker. The ghosts are not like roaches. They're not going to scatter when you turn the lights on. And don't ghosts feed on energy? Right? Give them plenty of energy and let them suck up the power. The funny thing is all the time. Ashley is always seeing orbs everywhere. Oh, orbs.
So if Ashley believes in ghosts, then does she get terrified when you go to these locations? I haven't seen the videos yet.
We did one. We went to a Brushy prison. We went during the day, so there's tourists there and everything.
Oh, right.
It's still scary, but we're going to try to find a location that's not open to the public during the day, cool. or we'll go at night, but with flashlights. It doesn't matter. But yes, she gets terrified. She totally believes in it.
I'm going to subscribe to that. Can't wait to see the next one.
Yeah, that's great.
Thanks, man.
So we need to rename this video talking to Ken about ghosts and root beer.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that ghosts really like root beer.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, apparently so. That's the energy they get, right? They harness it from the beer element of it.
It's mostly the root.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody that knows anything about ghosts know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have something similar here. Everybody thinks that root beer is actually sarsaparilla, and I'm like, no, it's not.
Oh, no.
I don't like sarsaparilla. Don't like sarsaparilla at all.
I'm not a fan. Have you had that, Ken?
I don't think I know what that is. I've heard of it. It's like a fashion drink, isn't it?
Like licorice almost. Would you describe it as, Keith?
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But I have a weird taste for an Australian. I mean, I love Dr. Pepper, and I love cherry Dr. Pepper and cherry Coke and all that sort of stuff.
Birch beer, my friend. Birch beer. Get you some.
Yeah. I'll order some from the US and pay $200 postage. I'll have to check Amazon, see if they got any on there.
Yeah. You know what? I ordered about a month ago from Amazon. Tim Tams.
Yeah.
Love them.
Nice.
You know am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Tim Tams? Yeah, those things.
Did you just get like the basic ones? Because we've got so many different flavors here.
Oh, there's so many different ones. I think I got one that was chocolate and coffee.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there's heaps now. They've really sort of diverged their product lines. You get black cherry and white chocolate and all that sort of stuff. But I was at Comic-Con last year, and one of the celebrities come over, and he was doing a pre-Comic-Con interview, and he just mentioned how stoked he was to be in Australia because he can have Tim Tams. So went to have a photo taken because we get photos taken with all the stars, and on his desk was this pillar of Tim Tams. So everybody that went to the event was taking Tim Tams for him, and he had this literal mountain, looked like a massive Jenga game. Tim Tam.
I don't understand how Tim Tams aren't over here as well, like just on the shelves. I don't understand that.
Oh, you don't drink coffee though, Ken.
Oh, did they go with coffee? Is that?
Oh, you're missing that. Well, you could do. Do you like hot chocolate?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you do is you bite the end, like take off about that much of the end of both
Right.
ends,
Yeah.
and then you suck it
Like a straw.
through the Tim Tam
Really?
It's
like
amazing.
a straw. That's how you eat a Tim Tam.
Yeah.
It's structurally sound enough to do that through.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. Yeah. And especially if it's a hot
Yeah.
beverage as well, then like after you've sucked it through, it kind of gets gooey, and then it's even better then. Yeah,
Oh my
it's-
God.
Yeah.
Good
So-
thing you guys have free national health care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So take that from the home of Tim Tams. That's how you eat a Tim Tam.
Yeah.
Okay. But one thing I'll tell you, you guys can have your Vegemite. You can just.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
agree.
a fan.
Do you guys both like Vegemite?
It's all right.
No, I'm English, Ken. So
You like
I
Marmite?
think Vegemite. I think Vegemite should be in the hardware store on the tile section.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, just spread it on the back of a tile.
Oh,
slap it on
yeah.
the wall.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That they could smear that on the bottom of the space shuttle to keep it from burning up and reentry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. They should do that.
Yeah.
No, not a fan.
Okay.
I'm a Marmite person. But Australians do love their Vegemite.
They do,
Yeah.
don't they?
You have some.
Oh, if
You could get some right now. Right now, you have within your reach. You could get some within 30 seconds, couldn't you?
No, I don't. Do you,
No,
Keith?
I don't know
have
that
any in the house.
No.
I could go and get you. I could go and get you 4 jars of Marmite sitting in the fridge.
4 jars, man.
To smear on your Tim Tam? Oh, no.
Hey, are you guys into FPV at all?
I'm
Yeah, we actually we did a session on FPV a couple of Zooms ago,
Okay.
which was really cool. What have you got?
I just got this little guy today.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this is a Beta FPV 85X digital.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it just came out, and I haven't
Have you flown it yet?
No, I'm gonna fly this tomorrow. It looks a little tall though,
It
Right.
does, doesn't it?
but it's mostly this plastic stuff.
It's a funny looking thing.
It is funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
poke
it's
someone's eye out with that.
unique, yeah, for sure.
But I love FPV. I love flying 5 inches. Not a huge fan of the tiny whoops,
Yeah.
but the 5 inchers, I love flying FPV.
What got you into FPV? Because it's like the kind of barrier to entry. It's quite expensive, isn't it, to learn everything, and to pay for parts?
Yeah, it's time. I'm lucky that I have companies that will send me these things, but as far as the time investment to learn, yeah, it took me a while. I really admired seeing like the Mr. Steels and the Nerks and the Zoe FPV people out there doing all this flying down buildings and everything. And so I endeavored to do that myself, and now I can. I
That's so
can't.
cool.
You know, I can't. I'm not a Mr. Steel, but I can fly the thing in acro mode without crashing.
Yeah.
But I
Do you-
love it.
do you ever
It's
get-
just such a rush. It's the closest thing you'll ever get to flying like an actual bird.
Yeah, right.
Do you ever get sent stuff that is just complete rubbish, or is it normally quite good quality?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh wow. I've got a pile of stuff in there that I don't know what I'm gonna do with.
Giveaways.
Just terrible. Some stuff.
I was watching a YouTube video the other day that had me absolutely cracked up. Some guy went and bought every drone on Wish. And there were some absolute shockers. Most of them wouldn't fly. One of them caught flyer.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
turned it on
terrible.
and it actually melted the body of the drone.
There was a drone that was sent to me that was shaped like an oil filter. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was the worst drone that I've ever seen. And what I did with it was I smashed it to pieces and then flushed it down the toilet in the video.
There you go.
Didn't you blow one of them up?
I tried to light one on fire. I wanted to see if a drone would fly while it was on fire.
Yeah.
That didn't work out so well. I got to try that again. But the camera lived, but the drone just
That's
melted away.
impressive.
Yeah, but this company that sent me this drone that's terrible, I made that video and they contacted me and they said, and I'm not going to use the broken English that they use, but they basically asked me to take the video down, and they would send me another one because I might have gotten a bad one.
Right.
And I said, well, I'm not going to take the video down, but you guys do what you want. And a couple weeks later, I got another one.
That's so
It
rude.
was just as bad.
I gave it to someone. I gave it to some kid. I said, look, this might fly. It might not. Good luck.
Yeah. Oh, these ones from Wish were hysterical because he'd like pair them up to the phone or whatever, hit fly, and it just goes smack straight to the ceiling or fly off onto the wall or so. I don't know any of them actually flew more than about 10 meters.
I would say any drone that doesn't come with a controller that you fly with your phone is usually crap.
Yeah.
If they can't spend the money to make a controller, then how much research and development went into the drone itself?
Yeah, not much.
Garbage.
So if you could choose any drone that's out there, why would you pick the Mavic Mini?
Why?
Loaded question.
Oh, have you had bad luck with the Mavic Mini?
No, other than my motherboard frying, I love my Mavic Mini. It's a great. I've got the Mavic 2, and I use the Mavic Mini as my go-to because it's just so easy.
How did you fried a board in the Mavic Mini?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
No idea. Turned
Set
it on
fire.
Oh.
No, turned it on, and there was a IMU error and a gimbal error and something else error. Literally everything was red. So I just sent it back to DJI, and they sent me a new one.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, sure, you're going to get it.
But I have seen the trend happening actually on our page. We've had 3 this week.
Yeah, I saw that actually.
Fried motherboards.
Well, DJI actually has different manufacturing locations.
Yeah.
So
I did think that.
You'll get different quality.
We've got echo, have we?
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of echo, but you'll get. That was true when the Phantom 4s came out. You could tell in the Phantom 4s which factory made it because one Phantom would have the little pads on the bottom. One of them had a line through it, and one of them didn't. So they were made in 2 different factories, and that's how you could tell the difference. But I love the Mavic Mini.
Yeah,
I love the Mavic Mini.
Yeah,
it's a great drone for sure. That's because like the whole Mavic Mini Australia page, which is kind of what has made this live Q&A possible. Yeah, it's amazing. Like some of the stories we've had from people just have fallen in love with the Mavic Mini. Hey, it's
it's a great entry level drone. People get interested in drones. Maybe if they don't know enough information, the first thing they do is they'll go down to their Walmart. You guys don't have Walmart, but you know what Walmart is. They'll go to their local variety store and just get one off the toy shelf.
Yeah.
And then they're disappointed with it. And a lot of them don't continue after that. They're like, drones suck. Well, but you're judging the wrong drone. Spend more than $30 on a drone and you'll be happy with it. Like the Mavic Mini is the perfect little entry drone. It's got everything that a beginner would want and not a lot of extra stuff that's going to confuse newbies. Got GPS. Oh, it's just a wonderful little drone. I love it.
It is. So besides obviously the powerhouse of DJI with the monopoly on the drone space, have you tested any other drones in that kind of medium to high end range that you do really like other companies that you think have potential to compete with DJI?
Sure, and I hope that DJI has some competition because that breeds innovation. Yeah. Certainly, you don't want them to rest on their laurels. I think Autel is giving them a run for their money. There's a lot of little boutique companies, a couple that I have tested drones for, to my dismay. And
aren't Autel American?
No.
Where are they from?
I thought they were US.
No. Autel is Autel's parent company is a Chinese company.
Oh,
okay.
A lot of people don't realize that. And Autel goes to great lengths to make Americans believe that they're an American company, but they are not. You like how I drive the point home? They're not. But they're as American as you would like to believe they are.
Yeah, right. The Skydio 2, that's American, isn't it? Have you tested that? No? What are your thoughts on that? You're leaving. You're not a fan.
No. I'm a fan of Skydio. In fact, I'm a fan of the Skydio company.
Yeah.
They are American, of course. It's made with foreign components,
Mm-hmm.
naturally, like anything would be. It's assembled in the United States. Skydio, yeah, I have nothing. I have nothing against Skydio. The reason why I was rolling off is I thought you were going to talk about. I borrowed a Skydio from a buddy in New Zealand.
Oh, right.
He said, I forget how he sent it all the way to me.
Wow.
Yes, that's what he did. I got it before he did somehow. Before he flew it.
Did you blow it up?
Well, I made a video where it was following my motorcycle, and I turned a corner, and it didn't see a little teeny wire.
Oh.
And it crashed, and it was totaled.
But, all right.
And this was just about when COVID started, so everything was slow. But we managed to talk to Skydio, and they did replace it. So that's good. And that's I got to be honest. I'm not sure they would have replaced it if I wasn't a powerhouse YouTuber. I'm pretty sure if I didn't have a YouTube channel my size, that they might not have replaced it.
Yeah,
but that's cool. I don't have anything against them. It's a great little drone. It's, in my opinion, it's not necessarily a good tool for doing stuff manually. Like the controller is a little hinky. It's a little bit like if you wanted to take it on a real estate job and do it manually, for instance, it starts recording when you take off automatically. I mean, I think you can change some of the preferences, but it won't let you fly at night. It won't let you fly in dark conditions. They may have updated. I don't know. I haven't played with one in a while, but
yeah, just a few limitations.
But it's so well made. I mean, it's such a well-made drone. You could not only use it to follow yourself around, but you could bludgeon someone to death with it. That's how good it is.
There you
it's
go.
A well-made. You could dent someone's skull in with it.
I just YouTubed it and came to Skydio No.
Oh, you see, yeah.
And there's your video on the front page.
Yeah.
Motorbike.
Yeah, it crashed.
It crashed. Yeah.
Yeah, people say, "Oh, you crashed his drone." No, it crashed itself. It was flying itself, so it crashed itself.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm a victim.
Yeah, you are. It's all on the algorithm, really.
Crash.
Let's take the algorithm to court.
Yeah, Skydio, you want to crash yourself? You go ahead, man.
So, how many drones have you crashed?
Oh, not a lot lately.
That's right. Yeah.
And by drones, I'm talking about camera drones. I've crashed the hell out of some FPV quads.
Yes, well, of course.
You've got it, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, in fact, here's my GoPro that was atop one of the 6S ones that I had.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now, that isn't just the glass. This hit so hard that it cracked the frame.
Oh, yeah.
The camera's it cracked the SD card. That's how hard it hit.
Wow.
What did you hit?
I hit a post in an abandoned building, hard with a 6S at full throttle. It was bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks bad.
Yeah, that happened about a month or two ago. It's still in the process of being rebuilt. And you know how rare those Hero Session 5s are.
Yeah, I cannot believe that GoPro discontinued the Session. It makes no sense to me.
They've just launched the 9, and I thought they were going to actually bring out a new Session, but they've just launched the Hero 9 Black. Yeah.
And there's companies making fake Sessions, like Session sized, that will fit in all of the FPV quads holders, but they're not the same.
They've lost the whole market there. It's honestly, it makes no sense why they would discontinue it.
They should look at eBay. There's people buying them on
I know,
eBay.
yeah. There's a whole black market for it.
Yeah, well, the thing that you have to look for when you're buying a session is the battery,
Right.
because at this point people are selling sessions that may look okay, but the battery won't hold the charge. And then there's people that are so desperate for those that they're breaking them open and trying to replace the battery themselves. They should, yeah. GoPro needs to.
They got an integral battery, have they?
Yeah.
Internal one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
And that was something that I found interesting with the Hero 8, actually, because they made it so you couldn't remove the lens. So if you were to crash or damage it, you'd have to send it straight back to GoPro. And then obviously they learned, or people told them that they didn't want that. And now with the 9, you can remove the lens and swap the lens cover out. But again, another really weird move. Like, it's meant to be an action camera. You know, it's going to get hit.
They've got a habit of doing weird stuff from a consumer side. On the Hero 8 and the 9 as well, there's the media mod. If you want HDMI output, which used to be part of the core GoPro, whereas now you have to put the media mod on, and then you can't get the battery out. So if you want to switch batteries, you have to take the media mod back off again to be able to get the battery bay. And I'm just like, why would you do that?
Yeah, somebody's giving GoPro some bad advice.
Yeah.
Karma.
Yeah. That's a lot of karma.
That's so bad. You know why the karma existed, right?
To compete with DJI?
Here's a fun little story.
Woo!
Yes, pretty much to compete with DJI. There was a point where DJI and GoPro were in love.
Oh.
They were in love, and they made their Zenmuse gimbals to hold GoPro cameras, and all was good and well in the world. But they had a falling out, and then DJI said, "Well, we're going to make our own cameras." And GoPro said, "Well, fine. I'm going to take my records and go home." So they broke up. And then DJI started getting really successful. They made their own cameras, and the cameras were good. And so, of course, some heartbroken person at GoPro said, "Well, we're going to make our own drone."
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
You guys stick to cameras.
Yeah.
Well, they learned that the hard way, for sure.
Yeah.
They had to close like a whole department, and their stocks went down. Yeah, it was bad for them. Really,
and it was
bad.
all because the battery didn't latch well.
Yeah. It's crazy, man, because I remember when they announced that as well. Like, I was really excited I was looking into the camera, and I was waiting for some videos to consider whether that was going to be my first, like, I guess, high-end drone, like medium consumer drone, something I'd put a decent amount of money into. And then I remember DJI dropped the Mavic. I think it was like 2 weeks after that, or they announced it 2 weeks after that, and obviously the negative karma reviews came from, and then it was just history from then. But
yeah,
I was close.
It's been an arms race, and but there's such a technological difference from a GoPro Karma to, say, the Mavic Air 2. It's so different in such a short amount of time. I think we're reaching saturation point now,
Yes.
and the only thing that's going to make a quantum leap now would be battery technology, because they can say, "Oh yeah, you're recording at 8K. Wow, 8K. Do you have an 8K monitor? No. Do you have a computer that can edit 8K? No.
No. Exactly.
Yeah. People are checking. I mean, this is the whole argument over the 4K. When you look at the Mavic Mini chucking out 2.7, that's totally fine for most people in terms of what their computers can handle, or if they're pushing it out through social, then 2.7 is perfectly fine. So right. I don't know that I'd invest to jump to 8K, to be honest.
Not yet,
really
at least, because, your 8K footage is going to look great on your 4K monitor. Okay.
Yeah. But you're right. Another 15 minutes battery life would be nice.
Yeah, and that's the next thing. When they get the next generation of batteries that changes the world, that's when stuff will happen.
Well, Tesla
drone deliveries. That's when
Tesla.
Yeah.
Tesla announced this week that they've got new battery technology. It's 500% increase on current technology. Yeah, Elon Musk was out in the media the other day saying that this is going to absolutely change. They're talking about having a Tesla vehicle on the ground for sub 25K with this new battery system, which will effectively allow you to go 500 times further than the current.
And are
500%.
Are the batteries more hazardous?
Yeah.
No, they reckon they're going to be Yeah, much more stable, lighter, cheaper to produce, everything. Anyway, so I think battery technology is going to be something that's going to be huge.
I guess.
I actually also saw a rumored announcement today that there's going to be a Mavic Mini 2 released.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
I did hear about that.
From
a lot
quite
of people think that
source.
I have inside information. I don't have a relationship with DJI or anything. So people ask me all the time, but I don't know. So I just hear it just like everybody else. But I think that might be true.
Yeah.
It was a pretty reputable source. So he's done a few leaks in the past that have been absolutely spot on. So made people's ears prick. And also the Mavic 3 is bordering on the horizon, which I can't wait for, because that way the Mavic Air 2 people will shut the fuck up about how wonderful their drones are when the Mavic 3 comes out. And
you know what? I got to say something. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but this is absolutely true. There are some people out there that believe that the more money they spent, that talent comes with that. That they think they can buy talent. Like they're going to spend $5,000 on a drone that's going to do everything for them. Well, you still got to fly it. You know what I mean? Like people need to be happy with what they have. If you have a drone that you like that works for you, then you don't need the one with glitter on it that's coming out next.
I agree, and I think particularly for photography or cinematography, if you're using video, you've got to have that sort of natural eye in the first place. If you can't take a photo, it doesn't matter how good your camera is.
Right.
You're still going to have composition's not going to be right, color's not going to be right, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
People have their favorite cameras. Photographers, they use cameras from like the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
camera forever.
Exactly.
It works for them. 90s, the digital cameras, but guitar players, they'll use guitars that are 30, 40, 50 years old.
There's still pro photographers running 35 mil.
Yeah.
Because that camera lens combination is what works for them. But we've seen this time and time again. And I keep trying to reinforce this on the Mavic Mini page about, you don't have to just upgrade to get a better camera. You just have to be able to take good photos, because we've seen some Mavic Mini shots, which, to be frank with you, I think are better than some of the Mavic 2 Pro shots that people are putting up. I've looked at some of that and gone, shit, that's a good photo. Where the hell would you use that? And they were like, oh, my Mavic Mini. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I've been impressed. I've seen some really good cinematic, great use of the Mavic Mini. And people make fun of me sometimes because I still use my Phantom 4 version 2. I still use. I have 2 of them.
Yeah.
You remember when DJI said that they were no longer going to be in stock, the Phantom 4 version 2.0? I freaked out. I bought another one just so I have it in case this one crashed. I love it. It's my go-to drone. And well, why don't you have a Mavic? I have a Mavic Mini.
Yeah.
I cannot afford to. And again, I don't have a relationship with DJI. They're not sending me every new thing, so I can't afford to buy every new drone that comes out and go, hey, And I'm not going to lie to people either.
Yeah.
So I can't do that. Is the new drone going to be better? Maybe in some ways, but it's still going to be in the air with a camera, just like your old drone. And I challenge anybody to tell the difference. You give a Phantom 3 professional and a Mavic Air 2 to a good photographer, and he takes the same picture with both of them. Nobody can tell them apart.
Right. And I see that with YouTube reviews all the time, where they do comparisons. I mean, sometimes it's such a nuance, the difference between the two. You go, well, I'd be happy with either of those. One's $500, one's $2,000. I don't really care. The difference is so minimal.
I will tell you this though, it comes down to the glass.
Yes.
The Zenmuse, what is it, X5S camera that's on the Inspire 2 that I have. That's amazing. That's an amazing camera. And it's got great lenses on it. It's about the glass. If I do night shots that professionally, I will use the Inspire 2 with the Zenmuse X5S.
Yeah, for sure.
Even though the Phantom takes good images at night as well. But
So what is it about
You should.
what is it about the
You should
Phantom
be
that you like?
I just love that it's there, it's ready to go. I've got it in the case. I've got 7 batteries for it. You know, yeah.
Because like, there's
The
been all
reason
the
why I have
rumors.
7 batteries is because I've crashed a couple of them.
Oh, right,
I've had
right.
5 new ones, and they come with batteries. So I'm like, well,
Yeah, because
You
I guess
should-
I'm
you
wondering,
should
like,
do-
with DJI, you know, they've kind of gone down this path of just streamlining their Mavic series. You know, they've got the Mavic Mini, the Mavic Air, and the Mavic Pro, and it seems like they have neglected the Phantom range. Like, do you think there's still space for a Phantom 5?
I would love the Phantom 5.
Like, it's just, is it coming, or have they discontinued that range? Who knows?
I don't think it is. I think if they do anything, years from now they'll put out an anniversary edition or something just to, because there is a market for it. If the Phantom 5 came out, they would make money just like, you know,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
with anything else. But you know, the thing about any technology, let's talk about phones.
Yeah.
You know, you see somebody with a flip phone, what do you think? Oh, they're grandma, right? Nobody has a flip phone anymore. I apologize if you have a flip phone, but you see somebody with a flip phone, you're thinking, well, they're out of touch, right?
I feel personally attacked, Ken. No, I don't.
Do you have a phone?
I
No,
love,
I don't.
I love my flip phone.
So you're going to show me your flip phone?
Yeah.
Okay. But you know what I mean, like
Yeah, for sure.
and the lifespan of any prosumer technology in this area is so short. You know, but that form factor of the Phantom series, when news agencies talk about there was a drone shown at the, you know, anytime there's mention in the news drone, that's the
They
image.
always show.
You Google the word drone, the Phantom
That's
comes
it.
up.
Yeah,
because
it's synonymous with
just
drone,
touching.
isn't it?
It is. It really is. It really is. But people.
Well, when we were looking at getting a masthead for the Mavic Mini page and put it out to a few people to create some creative for us, and they were all putting Phantoms on our masthead. I was like, yeah, can we maybe get rid of the Phantom and put Mavic Mini on the Mavic Mini page?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And that's the thing that, you know, the layman, they don't know. It's second nature for any of us in the industry, we know, but there's so many people that don't, and that's actually encouraging, because that means there's more new people just now getting interested in drones, and that's good. That's good.
If they bring out a if they bring out a Phantom 5, you should just do a bad review, but don't actually have the drone. Just do a random bad review, and then they'll say there's probably something wrong with the drone. We'll send you another one.
Yeah. There you go.
No. I would love Phantom 5. I would love it. I think the one thing that would make the Phantom series better is interchangeable lenses. I think there was rumors of a Phantom 5.
Yes, I saw that.
And did you see those pictures that looked like it was a interchangeable lens? If that was a custom something or other made for someone, but on a Phantom 4 platform. But
yeah, I saw that.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. And maybe retractable legs.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Basically like a mini Inspire. That would be really cool.
Yeah. And I love the Inspire, but oh my gosh, it's such a job to get going.
Yeah.
It's a beast.
It's a bit. Yeah,
It's
it
a
is
beast.
a beast. You carry a small human on that thing.
Right. I'm very grateful that I have one.
Yeah. No, that's cool. So I don't know. We didn't actually talk about how long you've got with us. We should probably round it out soon to give you some time.
Yeah, we just got yammering, didn't we? We talked about root beer, talked about everything.
Yeah.
But
I do have one question though, like, and it's you know, just to give context, like I am a qualified counselor, so you know, like the mental health space is really fascinating to me, and I was actually going to start a series where I kind of interviewed YouTubers about mental health and how you can maintain motivation. You know, like YouTubers, you don't have anywhere to go. You can't just call up YouTube and go, hey, like, can you help me out? Like, I'm struggling with motivation today. You know, and for you, like, I can see how consistent you are on your channel. And I know for a lot of people out there that they do struggle. You know, they get those creative blocks. They struggle to be motivated, or they're disheartened by comments or views. Do you have anything to talk about in that space? Like, how do you maintain motivation and consistency?
I don't. wish I could say that there was a secret formula, like, you know, what do old people say? A lot of old people, when you ask them, "How did you live to be 102?" "I drank a pint of whiskey every day, and I kicked my dog in the butt. That's what I did." You know, they always have something like that to say, but I have nothing.
Yeah, really.
All I could say is I think I've never really struggled for an idea.
Do you enjoy, like, you must enjoy doing it though? Is there like a genuine passion for what you're doing?
I enjoy the hell of it. My radio job ended December 19th, 2019. And it ended because my radio station, because radio's dying.
Right.
And especially in a small town, they couldn't afford to keep me. And at that point, my YouTube channel was going pretty well. And I thought, do I get another job? And actually, I got offered another job in Louisville. And I turned it down because I was going to give this YouTube thing a go. And I have no regrets. Even though I'm not getting rich. I don't know, people look at myself going, "Whoa, well, you must be a rich YouTuber." No. The only reason I'm able to do YouTube full time is because I live in Poorsville, USA, and the cost of living is dirt cheap. But along with the freedom of not having a boss, making my own schedule, it's just a wonderful thing. It motivates me every time I read all the comments, and you know, I'm invested in it. But as far as being motivated, I think the secret is you have to just be born a happy person. If you're content with who you are, and sometimes this can, not to get too philosophical, but sometimes it comes with age. You know, I'm 54, and I look back. Recently I went through some old video of myself in my 20s and everything. I hated that schmuck. I didn't like myself. I didn't like who I was.
Yeah, wow.
I like who I am now. You know, and by age 54, you're going to know who you are. You're going to know what you want. You're going to be pretty, you know, on board with who you are and the way your life's going to be. So I'm just by default a naturally happy person. I tend to vent. Sometimes you can ask anybody that's on a video shoot with me that I cuss like a sailor when the batteries are running out or when something's not going right. I'll like bleep bleep. But where's my bleep? Hold on, I'll give you some bleep. You fucking piece of, you know, it's kind of like that. But for the most part, I'm just thankful for all this. I feel privileged as hell to be able to do this for a living, and that just makes me happy. And with happiness comes creativity. And did I answer your question?
That's wonderful. No, that was a great answer, man. I really appreciate that.
All right, good.
And a great way to wrap it up.
I drink a pint of whiskey every day. No, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Well, you're in the right place for it. You get Tennessee whiskey there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. There's probably a moonshine still within a mile of my house.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Like just the one.
Yeah, just one. Yeah. But well, it was great talking with you guys.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah,
man.
it's been brilliant. As you know, I'm a big fan of yours, which is why I sort of reached out to you, and I'm very grateful that I'm very humbled that you've taken the time to come and talk to us, because a lot of YouTubers not that interested in reaching out and talking to people. So it's really much apprecited that you literally responded in 10 seconds and went, sure.
Oh yeah, and the reason why I do that is because if I don't answer email right away, I forget about it.
Oh yeah.
And then people get mad. So I just answer my email right away. And I'm also very, along with the whole working for yourself thing, what YouTube has brought me is the world. I've got actual real digital but real friends all around the world. Yeah. It shrinks the world. It's such a wonderful thing to be able to talk to you and other people, because it's not just robots. It's not just text. There's real people behind all of this digital video goodness that you see out there, and people are trying to get along and do their thing, and they seem to be digging what I'm doing so far, and I feel very honored and privileged to be able to do that, and to meet new people with you and your funny accents. I have a funny accent, right? I got a funny accent.
If you do make it to Australia, I'd love to catch up with you. and we'll go fly some drones, and I can show you the wonders of Victoria.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, that'd be a ball.
All right, very good. Yeah, as soon as they let us Americans back in there again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, you've got my email now, so just fix the email, say, hey, I'm heading to Australia, and I'll type something up. I mean, I've got a big acreage property here. More than happy to chuck a bed to you, save your costs. We'll go fly some drones and create some content, and it'll be good.
We'll drive on the wrong side of the road. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
You
Sorry.
can drive, and I'll just sit in the passenger seat shitting myself.
Yeah.
Put on that seatbelt. Awesome.
Yeah. Hey, Ken, sorry.
Guys?
One more thing before we bounce out. This is just kind of out of my own curiosity. I'll get it out very soon. When it comes to batching your videos as well, like, do you have a lot of videos already ready to edit in the background? Like, how do you have videos ready to go for the next week or so? How does that work for you?
Oh man, I try to get ahead, but sometimes I really don't. I know a lot of YouTubers do that. I should be more organized, but no, I don't. Most of the time, if you see a video that posts, it's usually something that I filmed a day before, a couple days before. I don't keep it for long. I try to get ahead, but I don't. Again, it's mostly just me and a few helpers.
Yeah, cool.
But and I probably spend way too much time editing. Coming from an editing background, I especially pay attention to audio, and I'll do things that aren't necessary. Like now you know how to clearly you know how to edit videos.
Yep.
So if you go from one bit of video that has a little bit of background hum to another, like if I go from one scene where the drone is flying in the air to another scene, I will take the audio from the whir of the blades and taper it in and out.
All right.
And overlay them a little bit so that it's not a hard cut. I'll do stuff like that for me, because when I watch it back, I'm like, but nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
But that's like an extra hour that I spend doing just little audio tweaks and everything to make each video. I mean, each one's not a masterpiece, but for me, especially the audio.
Yeah. That shows that you have pride, though. You have pride in what you're releasing to the world, which is great.
I mean, yeah. And one day when I'm gone and people are watching all my old videos of, hey, let's watch that funny dead guy again. I don't want them to, go, oh, that audio transition.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, great. Well, thank you so much, Ken.
Got a little dark at the end there.
That's a nice way to end it, though,
Okay.
Yes.
All right, man.
And don't forget to suck the hot chocolate through the Tim Tam.
Yes.
I'm totally gonna do that, man. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna order some Tim Tams right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Thank you, man.
Guys.
Chat to you later.
All right.
Yeah.
Love and bye.
Bye. Bye.